I literally had a discussion with a Tesla shareholder who has $10 million in Tesla, and that's 100% of his net worth. And I couldn't get him to sell one share. Okay. And he's like, I'm not selling anything no matter what you say. And I'm like, dude, you got $10 million. This solidifies Tesla's position forever as a leader in EV and batteries.
Tesla, it was a 3,500 bull case, and now it's 700.
Hey, I'm Steven, and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, once again, talking about Tesla stock and their $5 billion stock sale. Both of these topics have been getting a ton of attention in the mainstream finance media. We're seeing the narrative change in real time. Wasn't that long ago, everyone hating on Tesla stock. Seems there's rarely a dull moment with Tesla stock these days, so let's dive in. But first, hey guys, if you're in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get a free stock, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account and fund it with $100, you'll get a free stock valued up to $1,600. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
And Ross, I mean, maybe this is a point that this stock isn't crazy right now because it's in the red after another share offering here. What's your take on how investors should be looking at Tesla, though? Obviously, this is one of the companies you've held for quite some time here. What's your take?
Well, obviously, Tesla is finally realizing the value that I think investors now see clearly, not only the opportunity, but their dominance in the EV market as well as in energy and battery storage. So there is now a complete perception shift of Tesla from a year ago, from probably one of the most hated companies I've ever owned to now one of the most loved companies I've ever owned. I mean, I literally had a discussion with a Tesla shareholder who has $10 million in Tesla, and that's 100% of his net worth. And I couldn't get him to sell one share. Okay. And he's like, I'm not selling anything no matter what you say. And I'm like, dude, you got $10 million.
Typical Tesla investor, sounds like myself, not planning on selling any shares for at least another decade and still buying, and very heavily concentrated in that one stock. Not 100% of my net worth, but a pretty reasonable portion. And by the way, I know that this dude actually watches and supports the channel, so shout out. I don't want to dox you, don't know if you want the name dropped or not, but thanks for the support.
So that's the amount of passion that's behind Tesla. So they've executed perfectly, and the stock has moved to, I think, a full valuation. And now Tesla's doing the smart thing, raising money, putting the basically free money on their books at a very high price. And this solidifies Tesla's position forever as a leader in EV and battery. So it's sort of a great day for Tesla shareholders, and I expect a great future for Tesla, but I do think the stock is very stretched.
Yeah, when we talk about how stretched that is, let's not forget that it wasn't too long ago that even CEO Elon Musk was tweeting about how he thought that Tesla's price was too high. And that was around, 781?
Unless Elon responds to this directly, we may never know. But as I've said previously, Elon tweeted the stock price is too high, not the valuation, the stock price. And next minute, Tesla announces and follows through with a stock split, allowing new, younger retail investors to enter the stock who didn't have access to fractional shares.
Yeah, we had the same price target, actually. When Elon tweeted that, I thought that was where the stock should be. It was like, back then it was 750. So let's say it's 175. And I thought that was a reasonable tweet, and boy, investors are obviously seeing what we've seen the whole time, and they're seeing it in, the rose-colored glasses and we appreciate that, actually, as shareholders.
Yeah, I guess just to push back and really double down on the questioning here, would you say that if Tesla itself is coming out with the share offering now at this level, would you say it's safe to call a top here in Tesla?
No, I don't like to make those kind of predictions because they're usually wrong. So I would say this. A client just called me and was like, should we buy more Tesla? And I was like, look, I love Tesla, but my job isn't to buy stocks at the highest price ever. Okay. My job is to find value in these opportunities. And there is lots of opportunity in the stock market right now, but it's not in technology. And so technology is valued incredibly rich and maybe deservingly so, but as an investor, you're supposed to be like doing, finding value in the market, even if it's in technology.
Yeah.
So you got to put a pause here. That's why Tesla's selling stock. If Elon's selling stock, there's a reason.
As I wildly speculated about in another video today, I have a funny feeling that maybe Tesla is raising this money, or at least having the option to raise this money, in relation to their plans to scale battery production to multiple terawatt hours, the plan for which they're likely to unveil at Battery Investor Day next month. Wait, this month? Holy shit. It's fucking September already. Time flies when you're having fun, making videos for you guys.
How will you know when it's time to downgrade the stock?
Sure. It's a great question. And I think it really comes down to deliveries, and especially China. Right now, everything we're seeing, it continues to be a tick up in terms of overall demand and the overall opportunity. And look, this is the drum roll into Battery Day. I think Battery Day is going to be a massive catalyst with the million-mile battery and further, showing where they are relative to other competitors. That's the key in terms of this Tesla story. And right now, I still think it's a green light.
Well, who is driving the latest rally, Dan? Are institutions coming in to the Tesla story, or is this purely speculative trading by people on Robinhood?
Yeah, I think there's a misperception a bit on the retail versus institutional. I can tell you, I've talked to more institutional investors in the last 6 months on Tesla than the last 6 years.
That is a very interesting nugget of information there. More interest, more discussions in the last 6 months from institutional investors than the last half decade or so.
Because the story's changed fundamentally, profitability-wise, as well as even more generalist PMs. You need to start to focus on the EV market. And even from a valuation perspective, especially on the indexing with the S&P, it's changed the game a bit. Of course, there's a retail momentum, no doubt. But I do think there's a little bit of a misperception that it's all retail. I believe there's a strong institutional because there's a change in the fundamental story of Tesla.
So what do you see for Tesla when it comes to these competitors like NIO, for example?
Yeah, NIO, a phenomenal company, and everything that's happening in China, as well as obviously a lot more innovative companies even on the horizon, comes down to it's 4% penetrated today in terms of the EV market. The EV market in China could be 5 to 7x what it is in the US. And you're just starting to see tip of the iceberg there. And for Tesla, it comes down to Giga. Giga continues to be Giga 3 in terms of what they've built. That's the moat. And ultimately for them, it just starts with Giga. And obviously what they're seeing from a demand perspective is you're really selling like hotcakes in terms of everything we see in China, despite the skeptics saying otherwise.
It wasn't long ago, as the Gigafactory Shanghai was under construction, that I remember many Tesla skeptics, bears, shorts, shills, everybody. There's no way they're going to be successful in China. There's nowhere near that demand. We think they're lucky to sell 50,000 vehicles in their first year. Yeah, good one, guys. How'd that work out for you? The fact that Tesla is gaining market share, that it's actually getting double-digit market share in China as a foreign automaker, competing against 150 plus local electric vehicle makers, is absolutely incredible and telling of how superior their product is.
Dan, you say institutions are getting involved in Tesla. Is one way to think about it that institutions are betting that the gas engine in cars really goes away in 10 years?
Well, I don't think it goes away. I think they're betting that share is 10% versus 3% today. Because if that is, and you miss the Tesla story, especially from an indexing perspective, you're trying to figure out what font to use in the resume. So I think it really comes down to, Brian, is that the profitability story at Tesla and what we've seen with demand, it's changed the paradigm. And what Musk has been able to accomplish in Fremont is really a game changer. Now, of course, they have to continue to execute. Stocks had a huge move. Any speed bump, stock will get hit significantly. But that's the difference. That's why institutionally speaking, especially on the profitability side, why there's really been a paradigm change over at Tesla.
I just want to nitpick here a little bit because Dan's sort of saying that there's a paradigm shift within Tesla, etc. They're now profitable. And yes, in theory, they've put 4 consecutive quarters of profit together, but this was inevitable. It wasn't a surprise. I mean, it was a surprise to Wall Street analysts, mainstream finance media, lots of retail investors, but it wasn't surprising to me. It wasn't surprising to many other investors who went really deep and were able to infer what was coming in the future. You need only look at Tesla's capital expenditure, the increasing efficiency, margins, the economies of scale. The fact that they've been permanently production constrained, the fact that the EV market is growing, that the battery costs are declining, like, shouldn't have been surprising, but was surprising, which is why I think now we're seeing not so much of a shift within Tesla, the business, but a shift within people's perspective, because now they can see what was obvious to some people earlier.
I have to acknowledge that ages ago when you were on with me, you said Apple 500, Tesla 2000 were your bull case scenarios, and you called it way ahead when they were 50% lower than what they were. Congratulations to you. Good picking.
Isn't it nice to see credit being given where it's due in the mainstream finance media?
You look at Tesla. In the EV market, it's Tesla's world and everyone else is paying rent. China's worth $400 a share. Battery day, the drum roll, September 22nd, put that on your calendar. That's going to be significant in terms of million-mile battery.
Why? Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. I'm curious about that.
When you look at Tesla, what's the advantage? The advantage, of course, brand, first mover, but it's battery technology. And that's what really distinguishes them. And I think when you look there, we believe a million-mile battery will be announced.
I feel as though people are kind of overblowing this million-mile battery thing. I mean, in theory, cool, yeah, but it's not really that big of a deal, honestly. Tesla's batteries today will last for 1,000,000 miles. It just means that there's going to be some degradation in the range. The million-mile battery really is just about super longevity, and sure, that'll probably be related to the battery chemistry. It may come, but it's not really that big of a deal. What is a big deal is Tesla announcing their plans, telling us how they plan to scale battery production to multiple terawatt hours per year. An enormous leap from where they are today. That's what matters. If Tesla has a plan to do this, it is game over. Million-mile battery, cool. If they announce it, yeah, great, whatever, but who cares? This is what I'm focused on. How does Tesla intend to scale battery production to stupid levels?
We think more and more price parity in terms of per kilowatt hour. And I think as a third-party battery supplier, I think you walk away from that. That's another catalyst in the Tesla story. Oh, and overall, we talked about last week, deliveries, we believe thus far, especially in China, are ahead of street expectations. Tesla, it was a 3,500 bull case, and now it's 700. So, and if you look at the Tesla bull case, let's call it base case, still around 400, that's going to be key.
With Tesla stock around the mid $400 mark as I record this, that bull case of $700 from Dan Ives does suggest that if things go well, there's still plenty of room to go for Tesla stock. I think it's safe to say that Dan Ives is one of the few analysts on Wall Street right now that really do have a pretty good handle on what Tesla is and their future potential. Most other analysts still pretty confused about what the hell is going on. I'm curious, what do you guys think about Tesla's stock price at the moment? Is it overvalued, undervalued, fairly valued? Are you buying Tesla stock? Are you selling Tesla stock? Are you just holding Tesla stock? Or are you sitting on the sidelines watching, wondering what the hell is going on and how did I miss this? By the way, guys, full disclosure, I've been buying Tesla stock all week. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake using the links below. Deposit $100 in your WeBull account, you'll get a free stock valued up to $1,600, and Stake, spin the roulette wheel, you'll either get Nike, GoPro, or Dropbox. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.